Kim Jong-un has been humiliated again in front of the entire world after his nuclear submarine was trapped underwater. The military of South Korea and the United States have announced that they managed to detect North Korea's nuclear attack submarine, the first ever of its kind in the region. Kim Jong-un desperately needs to be taken down a peg. And today we have an interesting story that may just do the trick. The last year has been quite eventful for the Korean peninsula, and we saw plenty of saber rattling from both sides. It also shows how futile North Korea's attempts to modernize their military hardware truly are. The development comes amid heightened tensions in the region following North Korea's recent missile launches, including one that landed near South Korea's exclusive economic zone. Last month, North Korea launched 2 ballistic missiles into the sea off its east coast, in what appeared to be a response to ongoing military drills between South Korea and the United States. North Korea's nuclear weapons program poses a serious threat to regional stability and international security. The submarine is one of 2 newly commissioned submarines added to the North Korean Navy in the past year. The United States has deployed additional naval assets to the region and has conducted joint exercises with South Korea to simulate various scenarios. Additionally, the United States has called for international condemnation of North Korea's actions and has urged China and Russia to use their influence over North Korea to curb its nuclear program. Now, knowing China's position on North Korea, it is safe to say that there will be no consequences for Kim Jong-un, no matter how many lives he destroys. No matter how many families he tears apart, China will always shield him from the outside world. Think about it. If anyone else in the world did even 1% of what Kim Jong-un has done, they would be long gone. But Kim Jong-un is still standing tall, despite all the sanctions and embargoes against him. He continues to build his military might and terrorize the world. However, China and Russia have been reluctant to take action against North Korea, which is seen as a key ally for both countries. The other submarine was added in July during a ceremony attended by Kim Jong-un himself. China has traditionally been North Korea's most important ally, and has provided it with significant economic and military support. However, in recent years, China has taken steps to distance itself from North Korea, its nuclear program, and has supported international efforts to denuclearize the Korean peninsula. China has also condemned North Korea, its missile launches, and has called for restraint from all parties involved in the conflict. So technically, China is not supposed to be okay with what North Korea is doing. But seeing as how both countries are allies and depend on each other for trade and raw materials, it is unlikely that China would take any drastic steps against North Korea. There is little publicly available information about the submarines, but experts believe they are part of an effort to modernize North Korea's navy and enhance its capabilities. What makes these submarines significant is that they are believed to be capable of evading detection by South Korean and American surveillance systems. Thanks for watching. This makes them a potential threat to the militaries of South Korea and the United States, which rely heavily on detection and tracking capabilities to monitor North Korean activity. In addition to their ability to evade detection, the submarines also pose a risk due to their nuclear capabilities. North Korea is believed to have developed nuclear weapons, and it is possible that the submarines are equipped with such weapons. This makes them a potentially devastating weapon in North Korea's arsenal, and raises concerns about the possibility of a nuclear attack. The presence of a nuclear submarine in the East Sea underscores the need for South Korea and the United States to maintain a strong military presence in the region. You see, North Korea regularly conducts military activities near the border, including missile launches and artillery drills. However, the detection of a nuclear submarine represents a new and potentially more dangerous development. The presence of a nuclear submarine in the region raises concerns about North Korea's intentions and capabilities. Nuclear submarines are typically used for strategic deterrence and are often equipped with nuclear weapons. Their presence in the region could be seen as a sign of aggression or provocation. These missiles are capable of reaching Japan and even parts of Russia. The launch came as thousands of U.S. and South Korean troops carried out amphibious landing exercises on the eastern coast of South Korea. As part of the annual Seoul, the drills involve an estimated 25,000 U.S. and South Korean troops, as well as 18 ships from both militaries. These exercises are designed to practice the defense of the peninsula and show the Allies' commitment to each other's security. They also serve as a message to North Korea to deter any possible invasion. North Korea fired off a record number of missiles and conducted their 7th nuclear test. Now, does this mean that North Korea feels cornered and desperate? Is Kim Jong-un getting ready to make his final stand? Officials used various surveillance assets, including radar, to track the vessel's movements. After identifying the vessel as a submarine, the Korea Coast Guard alerted the Joint Chiefs of Staff, which then activated an emergency protocol. This included sharing information with the U.S. military and conducting a comprehensive analysis of the situation. As soon as the alarm was raised, South Korea's Navy deployed air assets to conduct an aerial search of the area where the submarine was believed to be located. Initially, the aerial search did not yield any positive results. However, after several hours, one of the aircraft spotted the partially submerged submarine, confirming its presence in the water. We may never know for sure, but one thing is clear: Kim Jong-un has been exposed once again. Let's take a closer look at the detection process and see how all of this happened. On the other side, South Korea and the United States began joint military exercises and increased their own military might. Both sides threatened each other with mutually assured destruction. But clearly, it is the North Koreans who are on the back foot right now. This is a humiliating moment for Kim Jong-un, who until now thought he could do whatever he wanted with his new toy. What happens next could end up being catastrophic. It shows that the efforts of both countries to strengthen their surveillance capabilities are paying off. The story goes back to September, when a suspected nuclear attack submarine was detected off the coast of Sako. The submarine was moving towards the east coast of South Korea. The Joint Chiefs of Staff of South Korea said in a statement that the submarine had traveled through the Korea Strait and headed toward waters off the eastern coast. The statement further said that the submarine is presumed to be nuclear-powered because it likely left port at Sinpo, which is known to house North Korea's naval nuclear test site. Will China come to North Korea's defense? Or will they let this be a lesson for Kim Jong-un? Let's find out in today's episode of Crossroads. For more such informative content, do subscribe and press the bell icon for notifications. The recent detection of North Korea's nuclear attack submarine is yet another feather in the cap of the United States and South Korea. But the fact that South Korea and the United States were able to detect this submarine gives us some insight into the capabilities of both the countries. In response to the drills, North Korea's foreign ministry said that the recent launch was a just counteraction against the dangerous military actions of the enemies. The submarine was initially detected by the Korea Coast Guard. The detection of the nuclear submarine highlights the need for robust surveillance capabilities in the region. To understand what sort of a threat this submarine poses, we must first learn about it. The United States and South Korea have responded to the threat posed by the submarines with a combination of military and diplomatic measures. Now, where does China stand in all of this? What do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to stay tuned for more updates.